Hi everyone, welcome to today's DM Talks. We are here all from Critical Fumbles. I'm Brian and I have my two co-hosts, Zane and
what's up?
Gabriel.
Greetings.
So we're here to actually talk about the new D&D changes that we're going to have in D&D 1. So whether you're a seasoned DM or a player, all these new changes are going to affect you. So let's break it down. We'll start with one of our co-hosts.
Let's kick things off with the subclasses. So, guys, every class now picks their subclass abilities at level 3 now. So it's all universal, yeah. So clerics, wizards, and a few other spellcasters, they'll actually get their stuff a lot earlier right now. Yeah.
That's pretty great. And even if you're like using older subclasses from previous editions, remember that you won't get these early subclass features until level 3 now.
Yeah, so I think what that does is it brings in line with all the other classes that in terms of power levels and in terms for DM preparation, right, you would be trying to have everybody the same level, not what you have now in 2014 where the cleric gets all the subclasses at level 1.
Yeah. Same with the sorcerer as well.
Yes,
Warlock.
that's right.
Yeah, so at least your casters and your martial classes are on the same playing field.
So
you don't have to wait until next level.
Yeah, so it does two things for DMs. It makes your preparation for campaign at the low levels very simple because everybody's about the same power level because then you don't have access to the subclasses. Two, for new players that are just joining, they don't have the huge learning curve to learn all their subclass if they choose a cleric or spellcaster, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Then for the next point, we'll talk about the ability scores.
Oh yeah. So next up, the ability score boosts that you would normally see are now coming from your background, not your species anymore. So now you either get a +2 to 1 score and a +1 to another, or +1 to 3 separate scores, and these are different based on the background you choose, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, this actually works a lot better since we were talking about role-playing game, and then you don't want to get locked into like half-orc fighter, half-orc barbarian because they tend to have like strength or constitution like much more because it's a racial thing. So you can actually be like a smart orc, a smart this actually encourages you to actually be more of a role player than what do you say? Role player, roll your dice, yeah?
Yeah, so although D&D 1 doesn't come with all the races that we have right now in the 2014 edition, if you do want to use them, you probably need to follow this rule. So it's either going to be +1 to 3 attribute scores or +2 or +1, which what Zane was talking about earlier.
Yeah. I think that's really cool as well, is that, with these coming from the background, you can really, customize what kind of play style you want to play, because I feel with, some of them are sort of like locked in based on the races and stuff, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, and it makes a lot more sense because you are defined by your background. So as a fighter, like maybe you're not a soldier kind of fighter. You just learn to fight like from your bar brawls or whatever, or you learn to like guard a mage tower. Maybe you're a more inquisitive kind of fighter. Yeah.
It does add more flexibility, but then I think it comes back to the same problem if it's coming to the backgrounds, right? I think they just move the problems to the backgrounds then, because then if you want this particular background, then you got to do this particular set of skills. So speaking of the backgrounds, right? So what this does now is that everybody gets a feat.
Oh, everyone.
Everybody gets a feat.
As soon as they start at like the level 1, basically, right?
Yep. So previously, your variant human has a feat.
Yes.
So now everybody gets a feat when you choose a background.
But humans get more get the
humans still get the benefit of extra feat, but
so
I think we're gonna see a lot of human-based parties.
Yeah.
And new D&D later on.
Human superiority.
But I think they've limited the feats. It's called Origin feats, and it's just a limited subset. It's not the full subset of feat that you have.
So there's
okay.
only a specific number that you get access to at level 1 base. Right?
Yeah, there's only a specific range, and I think it
okay.
includes alert, healer, and lucky, which is really good anyway.
At level 1, yeah.
And I think also magic initiate as well.
Okay, so
really?
so
Yeah.
okay, so it means it's not. So it means it's not like free form feats. It's basically like a select few feats.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So unfortunately, you don't get great weapon master at level 1.
That is what I wanted.
I mean, you're level 1. You're not a great weapon master.
Not yet.
Not
yet.
yet. Yeah.
Later on.
Yeah.
But then you still get the feats as normal as you would level 4 onwards, right?
Yeah. I'm not too sure whether the changes are for fighter that you have one at level 6 or not, or is it everybody's going to be the same. It's yet to be seen, and maybe we'll talk about it in the later videos that we're going to set up. So the other thing, humans, as we were talking, they get an extra feat. So they get 2 feats at level 1.
Yeah.
That's pretty great because it really adds, more depth to character creation. Now, choosing your background isn't just about the role-playing aspect of Dungeons and Dragons. It's more like has more mechanical weight to it as well.
Oh yeah,
So I think it's pretty great.
Yeah, so level 1 basically you don't feel so helpless. You have a few more options, and you feel like you actually have some power that you're just kind of building up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also, based on what kind of background you choose as well.
Yeah. So another thing that's going to be changed, which is not really much of a change because I'm pretty sure every table kind of does it this way anyway. Healing potions as a bonus action. Yeah. So
Yep. That's true. But I think before we get to that, right? I think the feats in general also have additional things. Now, when you choose a feat, not the origin feat,
right.
You get an ability score increase regardless of what feat you choose. So previously was, do I take a feat or do I take an ASI? Now, when you choose a feat, you still get a single point of.
Is that to anywhere or is it dependent?
I think it depends on the feat that you choose.
Okay.
So I think the strength-based ones or the martial-based ones will
'cause
either
that
get
means-
strengths or dex.
Because that means the numbers are getting bigger. Yeah, your numbers are getting bigger.
Yeah, so I think it gives, it's no more a difficult choice of whether I take an ASI or I take a feat. So I think what we'll see there is we'll see a lot of people trying to work out what is the best way to progress. Do I take the feats first or do I max out my ability checks? So I think it will make players think about how they want to level up when they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a bit of a split reaction to kind of this because it does make it where your numbers are getting so big that it's going to get a little complicated a lot faster because bigger numbers, more complications.
For the DMs at least.
Yeah.
So I think for the players,
The players are going to have a great time.
Players will love it. The DMs will be like, God, it's happening again. I thought this changed.
Wait, you all are only level 6? How are your numbers so big?
That's true. So I think what we'll see here is we'll probably see a lot more player thought in terms of whether they choose a feat because it will still give them the boost or to max out their ASI as soon as possible. So, we're coming back to the potions.
The potions. It's a bonus action now, but then it's not really much of a big change because a lot of tables tend to do it already.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much now a house rule for most campaigns is drinking a healing potion as a bonus action.
Yeah, so it's just official now.
It's official, but now I believe you can give someone a healing potion as a bonus action.
Okay. It's now a bonus action, so it's no. So now the only thing that we really have, the only thing now is, do we still keep the rule that if you use it as an action, you get a full heal?
I think that's from table to table because some of us we do it, some of us don't do it.
So I know some of us do it. I've seen other gameplays online where they don't do the max ruling, even if they do it as an action. So it usually will depend on the DM.
Right.
The game.
Okay, so the other question is, what happens when they use your bonus action for something else? Are you gonna let them? Because technically, if a
Yes, because potion is technically a use item. Yeah. So that means if it's like a small little thing, can I like use a bonus action, quick draw or something like that?
Yeah, the rogues are gonna have difficult. Their fast hands are not gonna be as fast as. They're gonna lose that special ability that they can use a potion.
Yeah, your hands are fast, but
So it's mine.
We all have fast hands
It's
now.
only for drinking. It's only for drinking. I don't use it for anything else. Just drinking.
But this rule only applies to healing potions.
Yeah.
Not all potions. So you have a potion of fire resist or giant strength and all that, right?
Can't use it as a bonus action, yeah.
You can't use it as a bonus action. It's only healing potions at the moment. So from what I understand, it's a special worded in the item itself that can be used. So either healing potions are really tiny.
Yeah.
it's like an espresso shot.
Yeah, like a little shot.
Even with this official change, it's still a big boost to in-combat healing.
Yes.
Because usually you would require on your healer to heal.
But if you don't have a healer, then you're kind of screwed on that
Exactly,
part.
and most of the time your actions or bonus actions, or actions mainly, are more focused on either dealing with the damage or dealing with the combat itself. So having that bonus action to heal is still a great thing to have.
Yeah, it really helps as well as when your healer goes down, especially when your DM really likes to target them a lot.
Are you trying to insinuate something, Gabriel?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Do you play a healer in this game?
I haven't played a healer yet, but I've seen it happen. Actually, no, it's probably me. I probably do that.
So I think that's something that we should mention as well. One major rule update in regards to spells. So now you can only cast one spell using a spell slot per turn, regardless of whether it's an action or a bonus action.
Oh, so pretty much the same as before. Because it was only like one level spell, and then you had your...
Well, technically there was a loophole.
So the thing is, basically, and I think this is where you were coming up on, was where if you casted a spell as a bonus action, you can cast a cantrip as an action, correct?
Yeah, you still can do that now.
You can still do that, even with the new one?
Yes. So what the difference is, you can't take 3 levels and fighter, take action search and cast 2 fireballs.
Okay. So basically, you can't speed yourself up to like cast. Yeah.
You can't do the Eldritch Machine Gun in the new D&D. Anyone who's played Baldur's Gate, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
So, but there's a couple of caveats there until the book comes out. Then we can see what the actual rule wording is, because there's some class abilities that says that you can use Misty Step without expending a spell slot. That's a loophole. That's number one. Number two, magic items don't technically use a spell slot. Like a Staff of Power, it's a charge. So does that work around? So you could cast 2 fireballs still?
I mean, just because you don't. I mean, if you're still casting the spell Misty Step.
No. The rule wording is without expending a spell slot.
But it's still using the spell, isn't it?
It's a charge.
Okay, charge. Okay, charge is different. Yeah, items. Yeah, that one is a different story. But I'm saying like if you know the spell, then if you're casting the spell, does that count as like one spell, or is it bonus action?
Well, it's not casting a spell, because what you're doing, you don't have to use if you are silenced and if you are restrained, you still can use a charge spell, because it doesn't require you to have a activation. You just have to say, I want to use a charge.
Yeah. So with the
that makes sense. Yeah, that's a loophole.
Because with the Fey Touch feat, you can cast Misty Step, and it's a charge. It's not using a spell slot.
Okay.
1 free Misty Step to get out of those restraints.
All right. Yeah.
So I mean, that's something that we can.
But do you know if the wording is 1 spell per turn that uses a spell slot?
Yeah, that's what it is at the moment. Okay. I mean, that's so far what I've seen and read so far. So the other surprise that we have is that surprise is no more as surprising as it used to be.
I
So
was just as shocked when I found this out.
Yeah, that kind of makes it okay. It's good for like newer players. It means you can't. That means it's not much of a killer, a player killer as it used to be.
Yeah.
But now, if a player does the surprise, it's not as good as it used to be.
So for those who might be also confused, the changes for surprise is now instead of losing a turn, surprise creatures now just have disadvantage on their initiative rolls.
Which can be a problem, especially with fast creatures who can even if they roll disadvantage, they can still have a chance of rolling high. So yeah, I'm surprised, but not really surprised.
yeah, so I think the reason for them to make this change is so that if the players are surprised, right, they don't sit there and not do anything for the sun.
Yeah.
So it's I think
slight advantage or
no,
slight
I don't think
disadvantage.
so. I think it's not fun to sit there and just let everybody else take a turn and I can't do anything because I'm surprised.
It helps to keep the game flowing and keeps players involved.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll have to see once it comes out if there's any like nuance to that maybe.
So yeah, I mean, I think with not only changes to the player handbook, there's also going to be changes to the monsters as well. So
okay.
so there might be new things that we'll be able to see when that comes out next year.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, next we're going to talk about the saving throws and heroic inspiration. So it's clear that you can rather clear that you can choose to fail a saving throw, which is kind of handy in certain situations, especially if you want like, hey, I want you to push me to this direction. Like for those of you who we're going back to Baldur's Gate 3 a lot. So yeah, for those of you who you will automatically fail a save when someone pushes you, so you can use it to get a little bit of extra movement. And here, that can kind of help for some spells, especially if you want to fail them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's in trouble, you want to get teleported out of there. I assume that person will be like, "Yep, yes, please, get me out of here, thank you," and bring you back.
Oh yeah, and maybe some spells will allow you to like teleport a certain enemy to that location, and then it works for enemies, and then they have to fail a save. You can use this also for, you can also use it for your friends, so they can fail the save.
Yeah. And if you don't want to fail, heroic inspiration, formerly that was used to be just called inspiration, lets you just reroll that big bad save.
Yep. And humans get advantage again. Every start of day, they get a free inspiration.
We love humans. We love humans.
We are humans.
I think what's happened is that basically, a lot of, before, like even now and before, humans aren't really a well-chosen class in D&D. So now they're just like, we're just going to pump humans up all the way and see what happens.
Human supremacy.
I have to look at the stats again because in the games with you, I've seen nothing but humans.
No, certain players love to play humans.
Yeah.
Okay, the last thing that we really need to talk about is exhaustion. So
you're a bit exhausted.
I feel exhausted, don't you?
yeah. So after all of this, it's still the same 6 levels of exhaustion, but it's no more tiered anymore. So what happens is it applies to every level of exhaustion that you have, but what it is, it's the level times 2 for every die roll. So if you are level 1 exhaustion, it is a -2 to all your d20 rolls.
Oh.
Including saving throws. Ow!
Times 2, so 2 exhaustion is -4.
Yes.
Then -8. Then
Good
my god.
yes.
Oh.
And I have a feeling that exhaustion will play a stronger part in some of the creature abilities or some of the spells that will be there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's simpler to track, and wow, that sounds brutal, especially at like high
Yeah,
levels.
even exhaustion 2 is going to be difficult. And the other thing, like some spells like Raise Dead and all that, you already have the minuses, or you already start with the exhaustion levels. Yeah.
That would technically ignore a paladin's aura of protection, basically, right?
Yeah.
Don't fight tired.
Yeah. Sleep well. Sleep early.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm guessing the same thing. You can only remove 1 level of exhaustion per less, right?
That's right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't push your luck.
That's right.
Know your limits. Anyway, so
Yeah. So I mean, those are some of the biggest changes in the 2024 Player's Handbook, the new Player's Handbook. Overall, it looks like the updates are streamlining the game while giving players more flexibility and room to roleplay and create their characters.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
absolutely, absolutely. And the news, these will definitely like really change how you play the game a little bit, for better or for worse. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think since all these changes are going to happen, the next couple of videos that we're actually going to do are going to talk about the individual classes that are actually having changes to that. As well, so please stay tuned for our next episodes that we're going to have in the next couple of weeks. We also like to thank the studio that we are filming in at Xpidemix.
Yes.
So for those people who are interested in getting the rule books when they come out, there'll be a link in the description to link you to the Xpidemix website to pre-order the 2024 Player's Handbook. Okay, thank you everyone. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Okay, guys.
Bye.
Bye.